another day. Let's see if this gearbox has some water in it. I'm just a little suspicious after that rain we had, all the hail and everything, all the water that was sitting in that grain tank. It's cooling right there. This thing likes to get water in it. So I'm gonna pull that bottom drain plug out just a little bit. It's probably gonna make a mess. But if it's white and milky, then I'll get some oil and we'll flush it. If it looks good, I'm just gonna leave it. We're gonna run the season. We'll find out right now. White milky. Yeah. All right. I didn't bring any oil. So next time I go back to the shop, changing that. It's got water in it. You saw a rabbit? All right, go get him. Okay. Yeah, when I told him to go get him, it's because that rabbit's playing with him. He ran up, you know, Kobe was within, 30 feet of him. But then the rabbit just put it in second gear, and it was rapid fire, or rabbit fire, and off was no contest race. And he went ahead a couple hundred yards and then kind of slowed up and then seeing if he was catching up. Those kind of rabbits, there's no way that Kobe can catch them. So he has a lot of fun with them. I can judge which kind of rabbits are that, and that was a jack. So anyway, but yeah, what you saw here when I found the rabbit is all these weedy patches with a little bit of grain. And this is not normally our land, and this is not normally our harvest this year. What this is some old seabed clay. As you can see, it's kind of dark or black, and there is no topsoil on most of this, just little teeny humps of topsoil. So wherever you see the green weeds and then a little bit of wheat, those are just little mounds of what's left of the topsoil in this bottom area. I have an idea that we're not going to farm this anymore. It was in the CRP for a while. It didn't get back in again, and we were hoping that you know, being in that for the length of time it was, 25 years, that, you know, maybe it would get some organic matter, you know, some of the grass growing. But I'll tell you, in these dry years, there is no water for any kind of crop. So we'll probably just take this whole bottom out, and I might seed it to some alfalfa, and then a little bit of grass, and then we're just gonna let it go.
Yeah, crackers.
What? Where did you guys get the crackers? How'd you get crackers?
From Grandpa.
Grandpa's got crackers in his combine?
Yeah.
Oh, I want a cracker.
Nope, none for you.
What, only you guys get crackers?
Yep, none for you.
Pretty reman pump for the Magnum. Hopefully this fixes our problem. So we got the old one on here, we're gonna rip her off. It's, who knows, could be the original, it's been on there a long time. Never touched it. So we'll pull that old thing off, send it in as a core exchange, put the new one on it, and hopefully the hydraulics thing will be back to where they should be. It's hard to say how long it's been like this. We just don't use the hydraulics very much, just a couple cylinders here and there. Not a lot of high demand, but something's failing, so it's probably that. Old reman, so new but used, but new specs. Old, new. Got an O-ring, or I mean a gasket I gotta take off, a couple O-rings that I set aside, I gotta put back in. A couple fittings gotta take off this unit, put on that unit. Get them all lined up exactly where these how, and that, and then try to put that back up in there. And man, there is some
bolts on here, I get literally not even a quarter, eighth of a turn at a time, like dink, dink. So I cleaned up the threads as good as I could, so hopefully I can hand thread them in. Hopefully, usually it doesn't work out that way, to where they're just about snug, and then use those eighth of an inch turns to finish tightening it up. And hopefully this works, because this was over $2,000, about 2,500 bucks after shipping, get this reman. And if it works, it's probably gonna be good for another 5,000 hours, but that tractor's got a lot of hours on it, and this probably is one of the first pumps I was in it, so if not the only one that's ever been in it. Let's work. So I've got kind of a problem. This is a little fitting leg arms made to use for the loader system to make sure that it's got the pressure comp that it needs. It's one of the sensor sensing lines to the pump. And the problem is some reason the threads on this new pump are just a little different. And so when I turn it in, it's got an O-ring in there that squishes tight when it turns in. Well, it has to stop at one point. There's only one position it can be in when it finally deadens out and blocks the flow from leaking out around that O-ring. It's in the wrong spot. The threads are different on this new pump. I don't have a lot of options. So what I'm gonna do is put this in the lathe, and I'm gonna lathe off just a teeny bit where the O-ring sits, put the O-ring on it and screw it back up in there and see if I can get enough of it to turn 180 degrees or even a quarter turn, just enough so that then this line faces the correct position to hook their line up. I have no idea how much to take off because there's no way to measure that. But I'm just gonna go trial by error, error by trial, and just keep going until I get it to the position I need, put the O-ring on it, tighten it up, and I think it'll work. Leg arms isn't here, so he can't tell me it won't work. So let's just do it. It's kind of wore a little bit. Okay, let's go try it. Let's see if that worked. Okay, did I do anything? Maybe a little bit. I don't know. It needs to turn. Well, that helped some. Let's take a little more off. Try it again. Hydraulic oil everywhere. Can't hardly chuck that thing up there very well. It doesn't work very good in that 3-jaw. I have a 4-jaw, but it takes a while to get that set up. Blast with some air and put it back in there. Oh, I'm getting somewhere. I just got like 40, 50 degrees of rotation. But is that enough? Oh, I think it'll work. We're in business, boys and girls. Yes, that is what I wanted. Now if it'll seal is the question. There we go. Just around there. Just barely. A couple hours later, I think I got it in there with everything tight. Didn't go in as easy as it came out, but that's typically what happens. But I think it's in there. I'm gonna fire it up. Hopefully no oil just dumps lower the ground. Hopefully that pump. I tried to keep things as clean as I could, wiped everything down, blew everything out. So hopefully nothing gets in the intake of that pump because that can really be bad on them. Let's fire it up and see what happens. If oil runs everywhere, call it a night, bring in leg arms in tomorrow. If no oil runs anywhere, I don't need leg arms. I got a beard. I can do hydraulics. You guys saw it. So yeah, his value is going down quick. No leaks yet. Let's pressure it up and raise the bucket and see what happens. Man, you guys are swell. Kind of asked for a better team. I want to work with you guys all the time. You make things easy. So much easier. I just hope that fixes the auger problem. The conveyor on the swing out of the auger, you just can't run with that thing. You know something I love about you guys? Is there's enough of you out there that some of you are experts on some of the things that we do here on the farm. And you guys let us know when there's things that we need to be aware of, and it's awesome. I just got done putting that pump on this tractor, and I put a post up on all the Instagrams and Facebooks and all that good stuff, and lo and behold, a whole bunch of comments pop up saying, hey, you should really change that shaft and the bearings that drive that pump, because they are known to go out. When they go out, they can take a transmission out with them. Oh, okay. Well, the pump's already on, so after harvest, I'll pull it all off and change all that out, because I'm sure it's due knowing the hours of this tractor. So thanks, guys. I really do appreciate it. I mean, it's sincere. I mean it. Sometimes there's things that's like, okay, that's a no-brainer. Yeah, we know. And then other times it's like, oh, wow, I had no idea. We're not perfect. We don't do everything right on the farm here. So I wouldn't know that tends to go out until it failed. So thank you for letting me know. So far the tractor's running. We're gonna go hook it up the auger and see if the conveyor spins like it should. And if it does, then the pump fixed the problem. We're back in business. The crops are ripening still. Barley's getting ready to go, even though there's not a lot of it left now. But we're gonna be going here real soon, so stay tuned. Take us over to the bin site, let's get her hooked up, find out what's going on with the guys, and go play a little bit with some machines. That's what we do. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's whipping now. That fixed it. Okay, it was a pump. It was a pump. It's good. 2,500 bucks wasn't wasted. All right, we're back in business. Now to go get some grain in the bin. And I'm back in the driver's seat. So after getting the Magnum fixed, getting all the barley situated with the auger and the bin, Dad's fueling up over here. We just got done doing a little bit of work to the combines, pulled those crop lifters off. I think we're ready to do some barley harvest. The barley's gonna be ready before the spring wheat. There is a little bit of spring wheat that's ready, but the majority of the barley that didn't get hailed is pretty much ready to go. There might be a little bit of green in it, but I think it'll blend out okay. Then we don't know about the hailed stuff. It's stripped. We'll just, as the combine goes in it, I'll be able to look and see if this is worth running the combine through or not. But let's just head to the field. It's just right behind the farmyard over here, and we'll just see what happens. Yeah, this is actually my first time harvesting barley, because last year Dad did it all. I didn't even do it, because there was like hardly anything to harvest last year. But this year, we got a little bit still that didn't get hailed. There's a little bit, so we'll run through it. Which I hear it's easy. I hear it's really easy to harvest, so looking forward to that. Oh, this feels so good. Oh yes. Doing 6 miles an hour. It's just flowing in the header. I don't have to worry about rubbing the ground because the stuff's tall enough, so the header's up. And I'm throwing a little bit over my sip, so I gotta slow down a little bit. But this is awesome. Oh yeah, I could harvest grain like this all day. Man, this is good. Okay. We're back in the saddle again. Well, at least me. Kobe's at the house. He'll be back with me tomorrow. We stopped our harvesting of our winter wheat. We didn't quite get it all harvested because it was too green. So we brought the combines back to the shop, did a few maintenance, getting ready, and then we looked at the barley, and yep, the barley's ready to go. So we're cutting barley right now. And of course, with the drought, this barley is making up to 13 to 20. It's probably a little light, but it could be 47, 48 pounds. We haven't weighed it yet. But anyway, we're got about 800 acres of barley seeded, cut back this year because of the dry spring. But some of those acres now are been hailed,
about a week and a half ago. So there's not going to be any production on some of that. So I'm not sure how much acres we're going to actually have production on. So everything's down, but it's good to be back in the combine again. It's good to be cutting barley. It's an easy crop to cut, easy crop to feed into the combine, and you know, it's great. Makes the combine run smooth. Hardly any loss, and it's easy to separate. Just it's a fun crop to cut. A little short in places, but that's the short message I give to you today. Barley, got that out, didn't I?
Well, this is pretty nice. I'm liking harvesting barley. The yields, though, are not there. And not what I was hoping. We were hoping for 25, maybe up to 30, just from the way it looked to the eye, but it's half that. We're getting an average of, well, 9 right here. The last field I was in was probably about 12 to 14 bushels an acre. It doesn't look like it when you look at it, but it's just not yielding well. So it's hard to say if it was drought. This got the first round of hail from earlier this year, so maybe that's stunning it. The areas that might not have gotten the first round of hail were up to 16, 17 bushels an acre, but for barley, I think it's just droughted. That's just all I could do this year with the amount of moisture that was available. So we'll see when we get out of this area to another spot that didn't get the most recent hail, see how that does, and then we're gonna start getting into the stuff that got the most recent hail, and that might get depressing. So we'll see, but it's still nice to harvest. It's tall, I like that. It's been a while since I've harvested a tall crop. Didn't have it last year. First up this year.